All right, Lester, tell me what you want to learn how to do in Rhino.
Well, as you can see, that's a model from one of my classmates. I want to learn the tools that I need in order to model something to that level of detail.
So what you mean is like, be able to put some sort of object like a roof and create a void and create window openings and
Exactly.
create columns and create
Right.
window areas like that, right? Okay, beautiful.
And apply materials if possible, and most importantly, the 2D component, because I need to do a perspective section of my building thing that I'm doing, and I need to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I said perspective section and a perspective plan. So I want to learn how to visualize and manage the floor plan.
All right. All right. So I asked for
Because the
control.
model won't be hollow.
Got it. So you have a model going on in here, by the way. Is that your model? Is that just an idea? Like what
it was an idea, but I kind of stopped because I didn't know how to move more forward. I designed something else.
So
I realized it was not about the design, it was about me knowing how to manipulate the different tools.
Got it. So a couple of things. I love having the gumball on, which is this thing right here, which allows you to move things around. That's one of my favorite tools. The other thing I like doing very quickly is okay, having the units correctly. That's very good. And then okay, that's very good. I don't like having all these tools hanging out. No,
okay.
My favorite thing, but not a big deal. So I'm gonna show you how to do certain things very quickly. So the first thing is, and you probably know that you can change the view types and then the actual views to different like locations depending on this. And I see that you've created some views, which is pretty good. So that's good. The shader is good. The ghosted sometimes it's good, so you can see through.
You see, I have a version of a plan there, some sort of walls and stuff, and I want to be able to like build it out and like be able how to cut the view pretty much so that I can.
So you want to use this plan as a reference to then create it in 3D. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So that's not bad. How do you do this? Did you bring it from another software in, or did you just draw it?
I had a sketch and I just drew it out with lines.
All right. So once you have a polyline like this that's enclosed, by the way, any line in Rhino, it's called a curve. When you have a curve created, you can say extrude curve. Extrude curve right there. Boom. And it allows you to extrude that guy in. You can tell it to either be open or solid. If it's solid, yes. If it's not solid, open like that. In this case,
what does that mean?
You see that it's open and hollow like a cup right now.
Right.
But if you were, it got weird the way I controlled it. My bad. But if you were to turn solid on, it would not be like a cup. It would be like a box.
So if I want to,
you see the difference?
Yes. So if I want to draw walls, I would select open.
I would say so. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So that allows you to do this, and then you got it. So let's say this building is gonna be 15 feet for the sake of argument. All right. So you type 15 and enter, and then it allows you to do that. Then you already have a extrusion, and that extrusion, you could say like if you wanted to enclose it, which is basically the same thing as what I was doing if you were doing a solid, you can type cap and it closes it, by the way, just in case. If you wanted to close it, you can type cap and it just let me just undo here. All right. So that's that. You can offset a element like this one, and you can give it thickness. Right now, it has a direction. It's saying, I'm going to grow that direction. But you can say F, which means flip, and then you can go in that direction. And you can say distance, And in the distance, you can literally use your own wall thickness as a
Right.
distance. For this, I would actually want to do it. I would want to be in plan to do it, but if you know the thickness of that, you can say distance.
Yeah, it's a foot.
Say, it's a foot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, boom, and then enter, and it gives a distance. So you now have a nice solid that grew in a direction. So that's a wall right there. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That already it's beginning to start looking like something. You could do the same thing with all these other elements that we have. Let's say, you know what, you I'm gonna extrude you, extrude curve, go up the height you want it to go. By the way, the off snap sometimes is helpful, sometimes it's not. The ortho sometimes
Right.
is helpful, sometimes it's not. So when you do right click, you can start setting up all of the snaps the way you want it. There's an option to see all the snaps. Actually, where is it? There's a way of seeing all of them. Show a snap panel. Boom. It can show you the snap panel. Why didn't I see it? It should be right here. Maybe it's because I don't know. But it shows all the different snap options, but
Right.
doesn't matter. So we're very quickly. So you already know how to extrude a curve. You can extrude that curve and select a corner of this element to know how tall. You can say offset and then offset curve, offset surface. In this case, after you've already extruded it, it becomes a surface or a poly surface. Okay, when it's just one flat face, it's a surface. When it has all of these dimensionality elements, it becomes a poly surface.
Poly surface.
All right, so that's that. And then you can do all of that one by one. As you learn, you're going to realize that there's probably better ways of going about doing this. Like I would probably have joined all of these elements and created a L. This is me. You can just say join. You join, join, great, join, join. I guess you can join, yeah. And then after they've all, by the way, that's something weird because the lines weren't really straight.
Right.
They weren't. What I mean is they weren't really all like how do I say it?
Orthogonal.
Yeah, there is like a weird thing in here. Like this thing, you see?
Yep.
It's like multiple lines. So by the way, if you have points on, you can actually drag points because you have a points on tool. You can join it. As I was saying, beautiful, enter. And then you can say extrude, enter. He already extruded it, but he extruded it down, so we don't want to do that. That's not good. Extrude, then go the direction you want to go. I would pick an element that you feel good with. And then you can grab this guy, offset, surface, what direction, flip the other side, enter. You have your walls. That's easier if you have them all joined. That's very easy, you know. Now that said, I already shown you how to do that. You can do that on your own. You don't need me for that. So, but if you need to do a window opening, you're like, how the heck am I gonna cut a window on this thing? Because every time I draw, it draws on the plan or on some weird, bizarre plane that I don't have any control for. So pay close attention to this.
Yes.
I want you to select visually where you want to do your window. Like say it's here that you want to do your window. Then you're gonna go to a nice, beautiful tool called C-plane. And I want you to use this beautiful box right here. Once you select it, it allows you to pick a face that you want to use as your plane. And that becomes your plane. Meaning if you want to draw something, it will always draw onto that plane.
So after I pick the plane, I can, for instance, put the front view, the elevation, and draw everything I need to do on
Yeah,
that.
there you go. You can grab that exactly. You can grab that baby, and you don't have to do that like elevation. But I mean, you know, you don't have to do that. You could
Right.
just, you could just, yeah. But it would draw on that plane. Exactly. You could do that. That's fine. Exactly. That's the whole point. So, and then you know, I'm gonna make an example on 3D of drawing something
Mhm.
bizarrely up. Just make sure that our snap doesn't get on your way. So I would turn the snap off so that it doesn't mess. I would do a nice little rectangle, kind of where I wanted to go. Here it is. That's my window. And then I'm going to do extrude.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of ways of cutting this window in there. Okay, there's a lot of ways. Um, one of them could be you grow this baby on both directions.
Mhm.
Say split, select wall that you want to split and the cutting element that you want to split it with. Delete, 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 and you have your window. Now it's not really a window; it's just a little thing with a hole in there. So
Okay.
what do you
Right.
do? Another tool that I want you to pay attention to, in one of my favorite ones, it's called Dupe Edge.
Two and
Boom, 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 boom. Then you've already duplicated the edge of that seal, and now you can say join because you already have it selected. And then you can say extrude, and then you just don't do it. Go both directions. You just go and then turn your snap on and snap to that corner. And now you have a nice, beautiful seal right in there. See that?
Mhm.
Capture right in. Another thing I would want to do, you could grab and use the middle point right here, and the middle point right here. Enter. Say extrude. If you wanted to
Mhm.
do like a little glass, now it's using that
Mhm.
face to grow. So you don't want that. What do? C
You pick the
plane,
top face.
C plane, and pick that. Yeah. And then now you can say extrude curve, and it's gonna want to go up. You have your nice glass. There you go. That's your window right there. Okay.
Okay.
You want to do,
Can,
if
can you
you,
do like a curtain wall like with a mullion? How would do like a mullion thing?
now you're thinking very, very specific and realistic. Not a problem, but I would want to think about basic little things. It's not
Okay.
like Revit that's gonna give you an entire wall with mullions.
No,
Nope.
I when I say that, I mean this. Let me show you. It's like you
Yeah,
see
got it.
that
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that's
was
what I
all
mean.
built. That was all built. You didn't
Right,
have it.
that's exactly
Okay.
that's what I mean. How to do
So
that.
so there you go. Let me show you how to do it real quick. Oh,
Uh
show me the rhino.
uh,
Rhino. Right there. Here you go.
okay, there you go.
All right. So that's it. Let's try that again. In this case, we're going to do a nice little curtain wall right on this entire piece. Step
Mhm.
one, seaplane. Pick that plane with your face. Step two, draw a little rectangle that will represent turning on snap off how you want your window to be. In this case, I'm randomly drawing, but you could have drawn it perfectly on another view so that you get the dimensions
Mhm.
you want. Step three, you're going to extrude that baby in both directions so that you can cut a hole right in there. Now, if you didn't do it in both directions, it's okay. I like it in both directions because to cut something, you got to penetrate it all through. Then you
Okay.
say split. You're going to split what? You, not that. You're going to split you,
Mhm.
enter, using you, enter. Cut, delete, delete, delete. You got it. I don't know. I was deleting a bunch of stuff. So you deleted all that stuff. Now you have your nice opening. Problem
Mhm.
that we have is, again, what I've mentioned before, that we don't have, one, it's not closed. We want to close it. And two, we don't have any mullions. So let's just quickly do our very good friend dupe edge so that we can create this right here. And then we're going to join it. And then we're going to extrude it. And then we're going to go just as far as our Let's turn our snap on and pick that little corner right there. Boom. Yes, we got that opening. That's beautiful. Now we're going to create our glass very quickly. So I will create my glass using the middle line. You don't have to use the middle line. You can use any face you want, how you want to do your glass. I'm just showing you the concept. You do whatever you want with it. And then I'm going to extrude that baby up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change my C plane so that it goes up. So I'm gonna pick that face, and then I'm gonna say extrude, and I'm gonna go all the way up to that side. Boom. Okay, so now we have that. Very good. This is all being recorded, I think. Yep, I hope so. So I'm gonna show you another tool. So I've already shown you how to extrude both directions, how to join polylines or lines to create one, extrude it with thickness, and how offset a surface. I've also shown you how to use the C-plane command, one of my number one tools, and I showed you another one of my amazing tools, the Dub Edge. Now I'm going to show you another one that's super useful. It's called contour. So in this case, and this is all being recorded, so you can watch it anytime, so don't worry. So I'm gonna pick that face as my C-plane, boom. And then I'm gonna go in here and say, I don't even have to actually, I think I don't have to have it selected, but I'm going to select it anyways. Select it, and I'm gonna say contour. Contour is gonna ask you how to create literally like you know, when you're doing contours on a slope, on a site, is a bunch of lines. It literally is gonna say, well, how do you want me to create these contours and in what direction? So you could tell it, I want you to start here and go this way. And it's gonna say, oh, how far apart you want me to go? Well, I want you to go, typically it's like every 4 feet or so that you have one, right? So 4 feet, boom. And it goes and it creates these babies 4 feet apart from each other. Whoa, that's nice.
Awesome.
That's nice. Now you're like, well, that has nothing. That's not thickness. That has nothing. Yeah, that's true. That has nothing. And he created each one of them. So that's funny. I'm gonna I was trying to undo, but there is a tool called Cell Last. Cell Last. That's another one. He selects the last created elements. Another really good tool. Very good tool. Okay. So in that sense, you have these guys, and I'm gonna group them. You can literally just type group, and it groups them
I was about
together.
to ask if they can create groups. Okay.
Yep. And then you can actually extrude these babies right now. Extrude, curve. There you go. Now you know where I'm going with this. You have a sense for where I'm going with this. You could actually make them solid. Well, I don't think it's gonna be solid, so don't worry about it. So you're gonna extrude them. Yeah, that's fine. You could do both directions. That's good, because you're gonna need it to go the whole thing, and then you pick that. Boom, you got them. They're there. They're being created, and they're there. But they're like paper thin. So you're like, what the heck? That doesn't have any thickness. Cell last, extrude, but you're not gonna do curve. You're gonna do surface, because those are surfaces. And you're gonna say serve, and then you're gonna say, yeah, both directions. Yeah. Now I don't think it's gonna help me much, but you can give it a thickness of like, let's say 2 inches in any direction, so they has 4 inches. Boom. It should have nice baby. There you go. You got him. Oh, sorry.
Okay, it's okay.
I was trying to delete that line that I was drawing in there, but not redo, undo. Not undo multiple. Oh my gosh, just undo. Here you go. There you go. So now you know how to do voids into a wall. That could turn into either a window or a door. You know how to extrude any element. So you could easily create a roof here if you felt like it. You know how to do it. You know how to create mullions by using the contours. You got all that stuff. The precision will be given by you as a designer. I'm just telling you the tools and how to use
Right.
them so that you can create it. Is
Right.
there anything else you will want to learn how to create?
Uh, how to visualize in 2D the plan, like
Got it.
for the floor plan, and oh, the array. I would like to learn the array tool, and let's see how to like subtract from a solid. Like if I want to subtract a chunk of the building, let's say I want to make it uneven. How do I do that? Like subtract from a cube.
Well, I just showed you how to do that by doing the cut tool, right? Because if you
Oh,
said to me, you know what, in this case, let's just use this as a reference. So I'm gonna select the ground plane and do the ground. So let's say I want to cut an entire section of this using this. You can say extrude,
oh, okay, yeah.
right? You
Both
could
sides.
literally, and then by the way, I can copy it or whatever. You can literally say split.
Mm-hmm.
Split what? Split this
The
guy
building from
using
using
this
value.
guy.
Mhm.
Boom, boom.
Okay.
Okay. Now, since you use those words particularly for a reason, subtract, I'm going to use something that goes along with subtracting. Wait, let me just go back. There is a tool that's for subtract. So, and I think it may be called subtract, but I'm not sure. Or maybe void. Now, one thing I would tell you, this is the next one. Try guessing. So you could actually try to guess using the software. Just type things that you want to do.
Right.
And it will figure out if there is anything. And then also look at the pictures. Like, is there any picture that will represent
The
what you
one
want?
above, maybe the one above.
Moving this. Yeah, there you go. You have some tools like these guys right here. That's kind of what you're trying to do. A Boolean difference. So you can say, you know what? So select surfaces or polysurfaces to subtract from. You. Select surfaces to subtract with. You. There was an error. I don't know what happened. There was an error.
Try it. Just like create a cube and just.
Oh no, I know what happened. I know what happened. It's because I know what happened. Do.
There's an opening already.
No, not just that. This opening was created as a like it's not solid, meaning that guy and that guy need to be joined together. Now that that guy and that guy is joined together, you can say, let's do it again. With boom. Now it created a joined element that subtracted anything that wasn't part of it, but it has to all be closed. Does that help?
Yes. Yes, very much so.
Now, Lester, I think this is plenty for you to begin working with. And I would want you to test it because I could go on and build a Taj Mahal talking to you
No,
here.
I'll do it tonight. I want to do it tonight. The last thing is like the drafting component.
Got it. So a couple things you wanted to know. One is, so, I mean, if you want to visualize a floor plan, there's a simple way of just top, then see the top.
Okay.
Now, oftentimes I don't just use things from Rhino to create my floor plans. I actually select 3D elements in Rhino and I create something called Make 2D.
Oh.
It allows you to literally make a line version somewhere of that 3D element in 2D.
That's exactly what I
all right. So I'm gonna do that again for demonstration purposes real quick, undo. But I'm gonna do these. This is applicable with everything. You're like, yeah, everything. Everything? Yeah, everything. Okay? So what I mean by that is that you could go here and create, let's say, a 2-point perspective. right?
Mhm.
Let's do a 2-point perspective. And I'm gonna say, you know what? This is my baby right here. This is what I want to see. My 2-point. By the way, disregard all the mess you have, and I go here and select that baby. You're like, okay, and then you say make 2D. Enter, enter. You always will do it in top plan, by the way, but you go in top plan and you already have a line version of that. You can bring that into Illustrator, which is what everybody does, and you can create
Right.
very nicely looking and sexy axon or perspective.
Okay.
All right,
What
so
happens?
a couple things
Oh,
I'm gonna
sorry.
show you because I'm
Yeah.
anticipating all the things that you're gonna say
Okay.
for that. All right, so I'm gonna undo that real quick, and I'm gonna do a couple things that I know you may want to do too. So, all right, so Darwin, okay, great. I can do a make 2D of a floor plan. I can do a make 2D of a axon. How do I do a section if I want to do a section? How can I do a make 2D section perspective? How can I change the view? Okay, so how do I do sections? Simple. It's called clipping plane. Clipping plane. And here you go. Clipping plane. Right here. Boom. And you select where you want the clipping plane to go. It typically will try to place it in relationship to how you have your views. If you have it in floor plans mode, it's gonna look, it's in floor plan mode. Boom. And it's cutting a section. Believe it or not, it is cutting a section and it's somewhere in here. For some reason, it's there you go. You see that?
There, yeah.
And you can move it. And here you go. That's nice. Okay.
Yep.
And that clipping plane is literally like a 3D element. So you could tilt it and you can do a
Oh, it
section this
rotates.
way.
Oh,
Here
that's
you
awesome.
go. And you can then use that clipping plane, set the view how you want it, and you can then do a section perspective in whichever direction you want. I'm gonna show you another tool and be ready for this. And this is gonna be the grand finale because I do want to go home and I'm sorry that it took so long.
Yes, of course, I
So the
understand.
next thing that I'm gonna show you is how to set the view so that it's orthogonal to the clipping plane or anything. All right, so literally it's called set view. And set view, I like to use the tool look at surface. You can pick a surface and you can look at it. In this case, you do that and you can click a surface. Let's say that one, and it will set the view to that view, to any view. But I like the surface one. That's the one I use. I don't mess with any of these other ones. But you can mess with all of those and learn more than me because I don't know everything. Okay. I also like another tool that's actually on the set view, but it's like called walkabout. Walkabout. It allows you to literally put up like a person. It's not a person, but look, it's like a camera, and you're like walking.
Right.
You know. But there is more walkabout option. Walkabout. There's like walkabout options, but it sets the view like a person's eye level and so forth and so on. I don't think it's there. Well, but that again, you got the grand finale, you got the clipping plane, you got the set view, you got the dupe edge, you got the extrude surface, extrude curve, you got the offset, you got the cut, you have the void, you have the contours. Bro, you're set to go. You're ready to conquer the world. You ready to do this?
What happens if I have 2 floors? That's the last question.
Well, if you have 2 floors, you're gonna set your section plane, cutting plane in different direction to show the different floor plans.
And then I just put them on the viewport, on a viewport.
Well, you're gonna then you're gonna do a make 2D of that view to create your floor plans off of it. Okay.
Got it. That's awesome.
And then you're gonna bring those floor plans as make 2D. You're gonna export them after you group the lines. I will group them. You're gonna export into Illustrator or Photoshop and make them beautiful because Rhino, it's not supposed to be making floor plans for you. It's really a creating, making tool, but it's not really, it's not a be all and all tool. It's a tool that complements very well as a workflow between Rhino, CAD, Illustrator, Photoshop, and even Revit. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
In another
Uh,
session, we can talk about how you can grab something that you created in Rhino and bring it into Revit. That will be a cool one, right?
that's awesome.
So
Can
anybody that's
you
watching
upload
this,
it?
anybody that's watching this, first of all, Lester, tell them to subscribe, like, and share.
Please subscribe, like, and share because this is a lifesaver.
Here you go. All right, you had a last question because I do have to get going.
Like when you can you upload it as soon as possible so that I can
Oh, I'm
re-listen?
uploading this baby up right now. Share with the
Okay.
world and let's do this. All right. And
Okay.
happy
Thanks, Darwin.
happy February 27th, Independence Day for
I
all
know.
Dominicans today.
I
All right.
know.
If you're
Thank you
Dominican,
very much.
anybody watching, give it a like and a thumbs up. All right. Thank you, Lester. And I'm
Thank
glad
you.
I was able to help. Bye bye.